Today is June 15th, 2025. Well, a lot of people scattered over the last few days. Told you yesterday I went to go out to eat, and this guy across the parking lot got out of the car with a lady. Said we all found out her son's lived in Florida for years. And he was supposed to be one of the ones riding around with people asking everybody to help harass her. And it's not her kid. It's just somebody impersonating him. Well, when people find out that church is fooling them in the cartel, they don't think it's funny. Well, the night before, I was at work. Someone pulled in, I could hear him outside, and said, the people that are looking into the case said that her son lived in Florida for years. Who's been meeting with me in my office? They said they had somebody impersonate him. They said that Pete was having people drug her and people beat and rape her. They even said he impersonated a judge up there. And it's the Fourth Amendment. Nobody could be in her home. I know. They've been scamming everybody in Melissa's church. Now, I want you, and then people were talking about Walmart. Said one of the guys running this found out that that wasn't her kid, and he lives in Florida. And had somebody impersonate her kid, told everybody not to say a word. I want you to think about this. Are you people crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Playing with people that can organize a terrorist act like this. And you're going to fool them? I'd hate to see what their response is. To Melissa's church and all of them. Fooling them? They organized a terrorist act. Are you nuts? Oh, and other people? The police better take care of that bitch for trying to get Dixie arrested by lying to her so she can steal money. Okay, people, everybody that can hear me, do the right thing, go to Dixie and Josh. Melissa and that lady is setting her up to be arrested. The attempt extortion out of the government is 20 years. The attempt extortion out of an individual is 5. Then accessory to those crimes. Remember where Dave, within the first 2 weeks outside, he never seen me when I looked out the door? Of Dixie and the baby would be next. They teach Josh their lesson for letting her down there. He was so angry he cut his hands off so he couldn't work anymore. And before they had a list and they'll move on to who they want next. They can't kill her in front of all you people. Where they had attempts in the beginning of the case where they were playing with lug nuts on their vehicles so it looked like an accident. Now they're just trying to set her up to go to jail. Finish destroying her off. Go to Dixie. Tell them this whole thing's a setup. I sent it to Josh that all this, where the investigators, it's all over Linda following Tim and Katie back in 03. Pushing Danny to suicide because they thought I was following Tim and Katie. Made up that lie of calling me a faker. To cover it up. Push Danny to suicide. They would have killed me if the social workers wouldn't have called and threatened him. And it's documented in Stark County in 03, 04, and 05 that Danny was seen and treated for post-traumatic syndrome. He told the Crisis Center, the Child and Adolescent Center, Stark County social workers, Georgine Fofuso, Linda, and a Stark County psychiatrist for the Child and Adolescent Center that Strange took him that day wouldn't let him leave, starved him all day, screamed at him on the pulpit till he passed out, and screamed at him till he did what he was told. He didn't remember half the day. I didn't think about them drugging him till this case. Kept passing out. Shook for a month. Tried to kill himself twice. It's documented in Stark County. He pushed him to suicide. If I would have pressed charges, he would have died in prison. But I didn't think Danny could handle a trial. I just wanted my son to get better. Okay? They nailed my mom's tires till she moved to Illinois in 03. She's way up in her 60s. And she did a police report of it. It's documented in Stark County. You know, that's why I screamed at Danny when he started letting his kids go over there with his dad. He said, oh, Dad wouldn't let anything happen to him. I said, he let it happen to you. He said, oh, they're different now. It's like, no, they're not. See, he didn't know they were trying to kill me. See, they waited 15 years. And then did it again. Okay? Like September 18, 24, 8:30 in the morning. Car's bugged. Investigators talking to my client on Forest Grove, not client, but their next door neighbor on Forest Grove Drive. Okay? Investigators talking to them, their next door neighbor, said that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on it. Was a medication error that made her sick before. Why'd they wait 15 years? Strange ordered this when he thought she was following Tim and Katie. He ordered her to be killed or to be destroyed. Nobody was to say or do a thing till Dave wanted a divorce. And it took Dave 15 years to say it. They planned this for 15 years before they did it. Went over and talked to him, they told me. You tell everyone not to say a word. All because he thought I was following Tim and Katie and it was Linda, following her husband. They pushed my kid to suicide, and they would have killed me, but Georgine Fofusa called Dave and said, I want your participation in this. Said, I wouldn't talk to you without an attorney. Said, well, we'll put it this way. One more thing happens to your wife or your son, put you in jail myself. They backed way off. There had to be an investigation. Police showed up at the Child and Adolescent Center psychiatrist. Men in trench coats and suits. They said that she don't want to press charges against that minister for pushing her son to suicide. Just wants her son to get better. We better keep an eye on him, that they don't try anything again. I pressed charges. It was automatically. He took Danny and he pushed him to suicide. He would have went to jail. There's no damn excuse for that. They sat back and waited 15 years. Now I want you to think about this. How evil are they? You know, I haven't talked to Melissa since May of 19. Or 18. 7 years ago, when we dropped off John's stuff, she came out of the house. Hi, what are you doing here? Dropping off John's stuff. Oh, go ahead and put her against the house. Weren't there 2 minutes at the end of the car, talking to her, and the kids are running around laughing and playing. Okay? I hadn't seen her since Christmas with the bikes. Before that. When everybody was there. Now, I want you to think about that. I haven't talked to her in 7 years. Why is she involved? She was friends with Dave's girlfriend at the time, Auntie Shell. Do you know why I was never questioned about her kids? I called the FBI. Because Dave is threatening my life. Her church is breaking in the mall to 3 people. That it's them trying to kill me with the 4 attempts. Hadn't been a member of her church in 15 years. Visited twice in 2010, and they were giving me death stares, hoping somebody would tell me why they were making up stuff on me in 2010. They didn't go back. Had horrible nightmares. Scared to death of those people. They pushed my kid to suicide. Nailed my mom's tires till she left state. Wanted not to even ever lay my eyes on them. Well, why wasn't I questioned of anything? Well, I kind of called the FBI when they were threatening to kill me. Melissa didn't make this shit up till the FBI was there. They thought they fooled them with their Stana tapes before, photoshopped washing, drug confessions. Thought they fooled the FBI. That they laughed. So, she didn't make it up about this shit until October, November 18 in front of police and feds. For Melissa so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Huh? She got caught telling the kids to lie during an FBI case, friends with Dave's girlfriend. Okay? Now I want you to think of that. She got caught telling lie. Thanksgiving of 18, legally bugged house. They said they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. Then what else did they get tape stayed in the basement? They were making everything up. They were games of pretend, laughing. That's where October 23rd of 2019, Flora tells on them. Where on Thanksgiving of 18, they got caught saying they were making everything up. They were games of pretend. She told a bunch of adults it. I didn't even know what make up something, call you a bad word. That's all they tell me. Until Flora stated it. I said, do you know how mad I was when they said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. Flora's like, that's not what they said. They said this. And it was filthy. I was like, Josh was like, ew, don't say that again. It's not true. She said, oh, of course it's not true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Laughing. Chuckling, sitting next to me. I would have spanked them all. They would have been writing out 100 times, I'll never lie again. They'd be afraid to. They thought it was funny. See, that's where investigators were pissed. Karen's risking her life to get information on these people to save everyone, and they're sitting around laughing, making stuff up on her. I had went to John on Thanksgiving 18. What's going on? I don't know. He said, I told Melissa you're moving out, going through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something, Mom. But don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. Just be made up because of the divorce. She'll have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. No one could ever say anything bad about you. It'd just be made up because of the divorce. Shouldn't have said anything till it happened. Well, I did, and since it's just going to be made up and no one can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. Excuse me. Okay? Go to Dave to clarify everything. I said, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids, you'd never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. And we talk about Melissa having lied because of the divorce. And that John didn't know. John asked me to babysit Kenzie Carrington and Noah at 19, but I was working 2 jobs. The police and FBI even taped Dave admitting that Melissa was asking me to babysit those kids at 18 before they broke up. And Dixie ever knowing it. They're documented mean jokes, as Massillon police put it. Sheriffs laughed at some guy named Kurt. In 21, Stark County Sheriff's, if he just found out those kids were lying, he is slow. They're documented mean jokes. They came up, Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you're fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid, she didn't check where you were. They thought they'd just say something, scare me out of giving up everything. See, that's why nobody went to the hospital. There was no document of injuries. There was no pictures of injuries. No police were called. The police were already there for the FBI case. There was no investigation. Why? Because they were sitting around laughing for the new girlfriend. There was no prosecution because they were mean jokes. The investigators walked around me. Melissa could be arrested for involving herself in this. I'd hate to arrest her. Kids are little. Why don't we just write it up that she was showing off for Dave and his new girlfriend? So we don't have to arrest her. Her kids could even end up in juvie for this. They know right from wrong. Well, we'd hate for that. They're little. Just write it up. They were showing off for Dave's new girlfriend. That's why nobody went to the hospital. There was no medical report of injury. There was no pictures of injuries. There was no police report. There was no police investigation. Because the police were already there for an FBI case. And they were all tabled that they were lying for the new girlfriend to get the house. They talked about that girl lying everywhere. October 5th, 21, I was in Huntington Bank with a client. They were talking about her lying there again. We go to leave, he's like, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying everywhere we go. I said the ex-daughter-in-law, friends with ex's girlfriend, had the kids make up some mean games to pretend in front of the police. On Thanksgiving 18, he said it's been years and they're still talking about that girl lying. They even told the apartment building for me, second close offense, where they were talking about me being drugged and told to say it before 8/9/21. That summer of 21, they had even told those kids they were lying. They told everyone. People were complaining if they don't stop telling everybody they were lying. Yeah, they were laughing. They thought it was funny. People were helping out and they made it up. Because then otherwise, I'll tell you what, you better thank God they're mean jokes. My sweet new husband, his granddaughter, her husband was abusing their child. She didn't report him. Well, you can't hide abuse long. It got caught that he was hurting that child. He went to jail the rest of his life. She went to jail as an accessory. And then when she got out, she's never allowed around a child again because she let a child be hurt. She would have went to jail. See, that's where the drugs and told to say horrible stuff, laughing in my face, they did that. Oh, where you had bruises before, throwing up and infected, it was us. We had drugged you and told you to say this, beat and raped you. It wasn't the dirty well water causing all of that. It was us. Laugh in my face in front of the police offense. How they framed me in 18. See, that's where my dog bite attorney. You have to have certain things to have a case. You have to prove injury, actual physical injury. You have to have an emergency room or police report. Did you go and they document all the dog bites? Yes. I also have pictures of them. Need that too. Was the police notified? I said yes. I called them and I emailed them. I need both. Was the dog warden notified? Yes, I need that. The emergency room did it. I need a signed release for me to pull that. Okay? Then you got to prove responsibility. I said I have an eyewitness. Not good enough. You could pay off your witness. Another neighbor seen me right before I pulled out, said something as we were leaving. I don't think they seen the actual dog bite. Not good enough. Could always say another dog bite. You have to have physical evidence that person did it or that dog did it. You have to have physical proof. I said, well, if you want physical proof where it latched onto my arm and bit through my coat, my shirt, and left its teeth marks into my arm, and it wouldn't let go, I got the DNA on my coat. She said, no, you proved it. You have to have all that to even have a case. You have to prove injury. You have to have medical proof of a doctor or a hospital. The police have to be notified to attach to the injury. And then medical proof of a doctor or emergency room. And then pictures of the injuries. Then you have to have proof of responsibility with actual physical evidence, not just witnesses. You don't have that, you don't have nothing. You can't just say it. See, all they got is them joking around, fooling everybody. Nobody ever went to the hospital. Nobody went to the doctor. There's no proof of any injury because they're just mean jokes. Laughing about it. Thought they'd scare me out of everything if they said something bad. And I didn't know what they were saying. If Laura wouldn't have stated it a year later, I'd never know. I would have spanked them all. See, that's where these people thought they were. It's a bitch move. What they did is a bitch move. Absolute bitch move. Construction workers up in Forest Grove Drive in Akron called it a mean teenage stunt. A mean teenage stunt. Having somebody go in there and tape her in the shower washing herself. And putting that in the other room. And then having somebody roofie her and tell her to say something horrible. That's a mean teenage stunt. And it went too far because they were beating and raping her. But this whole thing is like a mean teenage stunt. It's a bitch move. Dave's trying to kill me, so they hire some idiot to kick in my door, set up button cameras stalking me, photoshopped washing in the shower and put that in the other room. Had some idiot go in and lace a Diet Coke while I was out of the room. Didn't know they were in my home. Stabbed me with a date rape drug in my sleep. Tell me to say something stupid. Then had me beat and raped. And I come out of it. What on earth? I got bruises on me, throwing up. Severely infected. And the only thing new to me is that house. The well water's orange. Found out it had high levels of iron rust in it. Thought it was giving me cancer. By the second week, I'm almost passing out in front of the neighbor, heart racing. Was fine till I moved in that house. Then I start having giant bruises on me, severely infected. I think the orange well water is infecting my personal area, maybe giving me cancer. I got bruises, muscles, pains. I have 3 weird memories. And I thought they were nightmares. The sound of footsteps. A white man's arm with a white dress shirt, gray pinstripe, and a syringe coming at me. Feeling like my back was being ripped open to my chest. Can't see, can't breathe. Every part of my body in agony. Screaming wails, screams, and all I can hear is my screams. And nothing attached to it. They're their dark tastes. Thought they were nightmares. Never see or talk to anybody. Wake up with injection marks. Or take a drink out of a diet 2-liter Coke. I come in from working, be fine. Wash my hands. Make something to eat and drink. Go in and use the bathroom. Wash my hands better. Come come out and take a drink in the room, go Dizzy and Black. Come out of it throwing up, head spinning, what on earth is wrong with me? Throwing up, got bruises on me, I don't remember breaking my arm and leg. Throwing up, and then my personal areas infected. I thought the orange well water was causing all that. No memory of anything else. Cocktail drugs to make you sleepwalk. The drugs then told us that fake sodium pentothal reports. There's over 20 prescription drugs in high doses will make you sleepwalk, let alone the illegal ones like LSD. The drugs then told us that. I don't think predators preying on somebody in their home and harming them is funny. It's a bitch move. A bitch move. Where they were laughing at this in Hollister's on May 25th, 25. Boy, did Bill from the Freemasons run the biggest scam. Had some guy go in and tape her in the shower washing herself. Can you imagine taping somebody washing themselves? Photoshop that in another room. Had some other guy go in and drug her up and tell her to say that. Can you imagine drugging somebody up and telling them to say something like that? Then ran a contest off of it. Who could steal all our money? Scammed everybody into helping out, cackling like it's funny. Where do you find it funny? You know, some ladies were following me around in Walmart. Do you realize with her, never see or talk to anybody? How does she really feel? Think about that. Now, how not funny this is. She's never seen or talked to anybody for the FBI. How not funny this is to her. Predators playing on me. Melissa's church having those people do it. Where Dixie on April 6, 25, how Melissa, where she's talking to Jen, that lady trying to get Dixie arrested, where Dave said that she'd be next. They can't kill her in front of everyone. So they're trying to set that stupid girl up to be arrested. She's so dumb, it's like, God help that child. How did you make it this far in life being this dumb? I heard her telling Jen that Melissa said some lady said she can extort money out of the government. The attempt extortion is 20 years. So everybody that hears me, go tell Dixie how Melissa and that lady's playing her to go to jail, her and Josh. They're playing her to 25 years in federal prison. 25 years. Tell them to stay out of it and tell them to realize. They're playing her. Big time. And tell them to think of what they did to Danny. And this is all over them thinking she was following Tim and Katie. They took Danny, pushed him to suicide. Your mom took him to the social workers. The social workers threatened that church. And they just waited to the opportune moment to attack her again. All those attempts on her life, now they're trying to get you arrested for it as part of it. Where, remember your mom said, I told Josh that Dad was threatening even your and the baby's life. You should have told me. They didn't want me down there because I didn't tell him. Try to keep you out of it so the police could get a hold of it. You still should have told us. Now they're trying to get him arrested for being part of it. Everybody go tell Dixie and Josh. Everybody that can hear me. Go tell Dixie and Josh, Melissa and that girl's trying to get them arrested for part of this. Where she bragged May 30th, 25 at 1 o'clock in the morning outside my apartment. She's going to get them to actually try to say something. And then she's going to turn around on them hard and heavy. And hit him from every side. Because the attempt extortion out of the government is 20. The attempt of extortion out of an individual is 5. 25 years federal prison. You tell Melissa to stay the hell away from her. She's looking at federal prison. Never see her kids again. And Josh, too. He knew better than ever trust Melissa. Some lady investigator said she can extort all kinds of money out of the government from me and Melissa. Even the statement of that, she should have known they were conning her. Melissa said the group of people they hired to help watch her and do those things, Melissa actually was part of that. She does need arrested. It makes her dangerous. Having somebody drug beat and raped. Andrew Darabic up there had 7 to 12 victims. Cyber stalking him. Trying to get naked pictures of him. To extort money out of him or get him in trouble. Pushed a kid to suicide. Set off hate crimes on the internet, having people stalk him. He's in federal prison 12 to 15 years. FBI got him. He was from Ravenna too. Get it? And where April 6/25, where she's telling Jen how this lady's promising all kinds of money. I heard it's endless amount of money. She's lying to that dumb girl. I want you to think about it. She's playing her because she's stupid. Melissa said the group of people they hired to watch her, the chief of police up there gives special permission to groups of people to break into a home. No, you don't. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements with a court order, without a conflict of interest. It's the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment. See, that's where that guy said. They said, none of this is funny. They can't be in her home because of the 4th Amendment. I know. Portage County sheriffs knew nothing of this. They lied. And the chief of police up there gets special permission for other people to break in other people's homes, so it's illegal to break in people's homes. Come on now, think about what they're saying. They're playing that dumb girl. And break in and do stuff like drug beat and rape them. Drug them for fake confessions. Photoshop washing and stalking tapes. Come on now. And the way they describe it makes total sense. She's that dumb. It's like, God help that child. And Jen's like, we want nothing to do with it. Some lady investigator asked me if I knew of the tapes before. I said we knew nothing and we want nothing to do with it. Asked me if we knew of a tape of Weird with herself. We knew nothing of this. We want nothing to do with this. And I told that lady she had giant bruises. I seen it. She also seen me throwing up and almost passing out. She said I realized with what she's been saying, what was going on up there. Because I asked her if she knew they were drug and beating me. That was what was causing the bruises and me almost passing out and throwing up. And telling me, say, they're breaking in stores in front of people. They had drugged me and told me, say, weirdo stuff. Did you know anything about it? No, we weren't part of it. That's where she said she won't be part of it. You go to jail for putting your name on that. I said, they're laughing at me in front of people in stores. That's what was causing all that bruises and me almost passing out and throwing up. Did you know any of it? No. She said, I didn't think about it. And I seen those bruises. I seen you that sick. She told Shay that. And I didn't put it together. Nobody did. So she told Dixie, we won't have any part of this. Well, I also told her about them roofing the U.S. Marshals kid twice till she moved out of the area. About them roofing Mike and him telling everybody he's an astronaut and trying to tell me he was a New York cop. He's stoned out of his mind. And how they did it to Dar, and she was taken and raped and was talking, acting fine, acting a little happy after she took the first drink. You're stoned. Over 20 prescription drugs in high doses cause amnesia. You're sleepwalking without the illegal ones like LSD, and there's a whole bunch more. Okay? Dixie's like, it means nothing. She said, yes, it does. She said, now, okay, surveillance laws. No one can ever set up button cameras or listening devices in your homes. It's cyber stalking. A doctor can never tape you unaware because of HIPAA and Privacy Acts. They can't disclose what they've seen you for, what they talk to you about, nothing. They can never say a word without your consent. Or they go to jail 10 years and $1 million fine. Now, we all know we can tape Christmas parties, birthday parties, events. Do we need anybody's permission? No. We all put them up on social media, right? Yep. Ohio is a one-party conversation recording. Just like where you can tape a birthday party, you can also tape a conversation on your phone and you hit record while you're talking to them, as long as you didn't do anything to them. You don't need their permission. It's the United States. It's a one-party conversation recording only. You have to be in the conversation and you be the recording of doing it. And only during the conversation is like taping a birthday party. Okay? That lady told Dixie, and it's right on Google. Okay? Now, just because they are selling the case, and just in case people did not go through the whole case, now where Melissa's kids are mean games that pretend they were all laughing about, and Dave breaking of the gunshot night, why hid my witness's identity? Flip the camera around so it's just a video of a voice recording, so you wouldn't see my witnesses' faces. So just for need to know of people realizing that Melissa's kids are documented mean jokes they were laughing about. And Dave breaking out the gunshot night. Dixie, may I record you? Yes. Is it okay if I recorded you before of knowing of Melissa's mean games I pretend the kids were laughing about? Yes. And Dave breaking out the gunshot night? Yes. And it's okay I taped you before? Yes. And now, yes. Told that girl. Now, if you say yes, you have nothing to say. Told that dumb girl, because she said yes on tape, that she could extort money out of the FBI. The FBI, for God's sakes. And out of my sweet new husband. I want you to think about that. And she's going to extort endless amount of money, I heard, from other people. All kinds of money out of the government. Fill their dreams of millions of dollars sitting at her feet. And she's planning on putting her in jail. Over my dead body. You bitch, you better leave my daughter-in-law alone. And my son. You leave her alone. She's dumb. Tricking somebody into doing a crime is entrapment. Entrapment is when law enforcement tricks you into doing a crime you normally wouldn't do. It's a crime within itself. I turned you into the FBI. You leave Dixie alone. Out there bragging how you're going to turn everything around them. And you're going to hit them hard and heavy from every side and I won't be there to help. Well, bitch, I turned you into the FBI, the CIA, the NSA. All law enforcement are after that Texas group. And that means you have to be part of the Texas group. Have fun with that one. Because Bill from the Freemason, this whole thing is his initiation into the Texas group. Texas group, March 24, 25, where Michelle already told on him from the Florida group that doctor from before was never one of my works for them. And they had lied he was one of my doctors. And that was his scam. And the shower scene in the other room. Okay? Was all ruined. They were up in Summit Mall. The Muslim people walking around. Iraqis, people talking other language. Some of the girls from the cartel were giggling. Michelle told on them. And they're giggling at him. Some guy off in the distance. You tell that guy Will up there. To pull off a scam here to join us. That is all wrong, because Michelle told on him. That doctor from before was never one of hers. He works for them, and they had lied. He was one of hers. You tell him we said to take care of her. This was his initiation. So you're part of Bill from the Freemasons' big scam. That means you're part of the Texas group. They're all after him. They're all after him. So have fun with that. And any other, if I find out a way of doing you on the Department of Justice, reporting you, I'll go there too. I ain't playing with this. You will leave Dixie alone. Everybody that can hear my voice, you go tell her and Josh that Melissa and her are scamming her and him into jail for 25 years. And if I had money, I'd give it to him. I gave him $4,400 at Christmas time. It took me 6 months to save it up. 6 months. He got a job up in Macedonia. I was afraid he'd get stuck in the snow and freeze to death. I was going on Facebook Marketplace looking for a used 4x4 truck that was older, that he could just get there and he'd be safe and my child wouldn't die trying to get to work to support his family. I wanted my money to help them. I almost died to save my family when Dave threatened to kill them all. And if I had money, like everybody said, Josh and his family would never have to steal from Karen. She would willingly give it to him. I've been asking the FBI to give me my money so I could help my children. And those idiots having people impersonate John? John would not participate in such foolishness, and especially not for that church. He lives in Florida. Having somebody impersonate him, going into somebody's office, and wasn't even him, he lives in Florida. He defended me to the max, asked me to watch his kids at 19. The FBI and police taped Dave defending me. Carrie, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids, you would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. It was a bitch move. Them having people roofing me and telling me to say stuff, Photoshop washing and stocking tapes, it was a bitch move. They tried to kill me and then pulled a bitch move on me. And then defend me to my face because I expect him to. It's a bitch move. And then trying to get where Dave threatened Dixie and the baby's life. Now they're trying to get him arrested. They got a list of people they're going to do this to. John would never participate in such stupidness. And for that, a call. He lives in Florida. He asked me to watch Kenzie Carrington and Noah 19. They taped Dave even admitting that Melissa asked me to watch all three of them in 18 before we moved up there. Repeatedly. And Dixie knowing of her wanting me to watch those kids in 18. We were moving, and I already watched Daniel and Tyler in Times Crystal and Flora. I can't take care of 8 children by myself. My God. There's not enough ice cream in the world to keep everybody quiet. Now, I want you to think, I've not talked to Melissa since May of 18. 7 years ago. 7 years. Haven't been part of her church in 22 years. 22 years. I don't have their phone numbers. I do not have their addresses. I told the FBI hotline that. They said, how do you know that that's them trying to kill you? I said, I haven't been a member back then in 15 years. 15 years. I said 15 years. They pushed my kid to suicide in 03. I said, and my mom, they nailed her tires till she left state. I've had nothing to do with them. I said in 2010 or 11, I went over there twice because they were making up stuff on me. And I was hoping somebody come up and say why they were making up stuff. And it was getting to a church I was going to then. Nobody said anything and I didn't go back. I have no contact with those people. I have no contact information on those people. It's been another 8 years. So when they came in and said I was threatening them, they knew they were lying. How did you know that it was them? I know these women that work in a jewelry store. Known them for years. The one's named Sarah. Her manager and her co-worker had went to work with this girl named Katie that goes to that church, and she's been bringing to those women in the mall that these weird attempts on my life, that it was actually them. And they had been trying to kill me. And I gave them their information, how to get a hold of them. I said, otherwise I couldn't figure out who was doing it. Like the Maslin Police, Melissa's kids are documented mean games of pretend. Like the Stark County Sheriff's in May of 21. Some guy named Kurt was paying for the harassment. He found out they were mean games of pretend. He was pissed. Sheriffs called him slow. If Kurt just found out those kids were lying, he is slow. He's the one that tells everybody, stay out of this. None of this is funny. They talked about that girl lying in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Illinois in 21. They sold a log and it went viral. See, that's where these people, oh, she said something. Well, let's see. That's where they, investigators, why are these people complaining? She says anything. Because it puts you put rationality to it, to their insanity of what they're doing. It makes you think that they can't do all this. What they're actually doing is a scam. And it stops them from scamming people. That's why they don't want me to say anything. These people walked in like April 1925. These people are so dumb. You wouldn't believe how dumb they are doing this. She calls FBI hotline. They immediately walk into an FBI office, confess they already know she called the FBI. They were illegally monitored on their own. Trust me, nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam, taping you unaware before confessing a crime, sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. That's a crime in itself. Doctors cannot tape you unaware. They can't work for Dave. And if they know someone's being hurt by federal law, they have to make a limited report to the police. There may be a problem here. I need you to look into it and then stay out of it. Why? Because they go to jail as an accessory. They can't say how they know because of HIPAA. So they don't lose their license. But a limited report or they go to jail as an accessory. Then it sounded mechanical. We knew it was all them. They had altered all of it. Where the cops said, we always knew they drugged you and told you to say it before. Nobody ever fell for the tape of weird with yourself. We knew it was photoshopped of washing yourself in the shower. And they photoshopped everything. So we told Agent John to act as dumb as these people and go up there and tell on her. To that church before he talked to her. That's why he was up at Apostolic Church of Barberton telling people he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care. He knew I was being framed. Before he talked to me, the night before was up there telling people that he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care because Strange called me a faker 15 years ago when it was a medication error. They told him to act as dumb as these people. He nailed it. sound like a crazy cult person the next day on the phone. Knew they were trying to kill me, laughing at me, how he talked to all of them. Made fun of me for some guy named Pete. Still don't know who he is. How he's framing me, and then something about a doctor. And I thought, well, is it that other lady that used my insurance? See, I had insurance fraud. For 15 years, some lady ran up all kinds of medical bills. Found out it was Dave's girlfriend from before me on March 27th, 25. The agent that was dating Michelle got all that out of her, that doctor from before was never one of mine. Works for them, and they lied. He was one of mine. That I don't know who he is. And that they had tried to kill me when they bashed in my head or leave me incompetent at work. And out of Dave, that it was a girlfriend from before me, using my insurance, running up all those medical bills. She had made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory so she'd have free insurance and he could give her extra money. Oh, marriage was a scam. Half my medical records are some other ladies. Found out it was his girlfriend and him scamming me. Okay? So I thought it was one of her bills. Here, no, it's all just a big scam. See, he's already told. He's already knows the plot. Laughing at me for everything. Made me beg for my life. Lists me informant, money, immunity. Everybody knows. He's already talked to everybody. Then if you tell the FBI I want to help you, can't say that. Cannot withhold protection. 14th Amendment. Can't misdirect or take somebody's money either. 14th Amendment. Can't tell anybody, can't say anything. First Amendment takes a judge in a jury trial. Can't be in the court order because it's not a jury trial and you're not a judge. It's just bullying me, like Walter said, criminal attorney police. It's just bullying you. Can't tell anybody they can't help me. 14th Amendment. Can't just take my money either. 14th Amendment. Can't misdirect it either. Learn your rights. I like my money. And he was trying to find out who all was involved. Here's the cartel. And they went after the cartel and just fed me to them. I like my money. I want to help my kids. And for God's sake, everybody that can hear me, go to Dixie and Josh. Listen, that lady setting them up to be arrested. 25 years. If I had money, I'd just give it to them. Took me 6 months to save up that $4,400. Gave it to them because I wanted Josh to have a safe vehicle to get to work. And I don't even think he bought a vehicle. I think they just blew it. I could have just blown it. I did it out of the love of my heart because I felt bad that he was driving that far and I wanted him to be safe. I almost died to save my children. Almost died when Dave threatened to kill them all. Now I wanted these people stopped so they live. I almost died to save my children. Like those ladies said, do you realize? She asked in a video, how do you think she feels? Never seen or talked to anybody. And just coming out of things with bruises, throwing up and infected and thinking it was the water. She's showering it and knowing nothing else. How do you think she feels? I'd like my money, Agent John.